He's got package on the
So,
first floor and first floor and third floor elevators go right on the ring. They're
Very,
everything's new.
They're moving third floor. Sorry, you're moving.
we didn't have
No, I'm not moving.
Meetings, of course.
So where's the floor?
and then the carriers.
Driver license
Yeah,
plate.
okay, on the drive.
You're not in there? They took from,
Sorry.
they took
No,
from,
no, I've been on the first floor.
from the door going, went into the old driver's license, all the way to the back of it.
And then it's
She's already did the right now. And I'm here today, so
Yeah,
you call
That's
it.
what it says. It's gonna be-
Fiscal court, us, board adjustment.
I haven't seen it.
Ready?
Whenever you are.
I'm ready.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get started. I'd like to officially call to order Madison Planning Commission business session for Tuesday, May the 20th, 2025 to order, and that's for roll call.
Mary Albert,
Here.
Gus Rich, Shannon Pennington,
Here.
Bill Buchanan, here, Brian Adams, here, Shannon Renfro, here, Robert Farmer.
Here.
Make sure that's spelled right.
Let the record show that we do have a quorum, and, next order of business is approval of the minutes for the March 18th meeting. Everyone should receive a copy of the packet to review. And I look forward for a motion to approve or make any changes.
I make a motion to approve the meeting.
Okay, have a motion to approve the minutes as received. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, we'll have a vote.
Shannon Pennington,
Yes.
Bill Buchanan,
Yes.
Brian Adams, yes, Shannon Renfro,
Yes.
Mary Albert,
Yes.
Robert Farmer.
Yes. So next order of business is amending the 2025 meeting schedule. Bert, I'll turn it over to you.
So the courtroom is ready to get between now and Thursday night. We're having our first Board of Justice meeting there. Their meetings are all special calls, so we were able to advertise it in that location, so they were good to go in and start there this week. You all have to vote on your meeting schedule because it is a regular schedule that is posted on the website and everything, including time and location. Where we're changing the location, we need to vote on that and make sure we update all the calendars and everything. So nothing's changing about the dates and the times, but the location will be, as you can see on the agenda, 135 West Urban Street on the first floor in new fiscal courtroom. So we just need to vote on amending that schedule. Meeting place.
We'll do all this in one vote. Okay, is any questions or concerns for Bert before I ask for a motion? If not, a motion be in order, and I'll hold things.
I'll make a motion that we amend the work session meeting time from 5:30, the business 5:30, and the new location change, which is anything different, to 135 West Urban Street, Richmond, Kentucky, 475, first floor.
Okay, have a motion to approve the minutes and meeting schedule, is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Have a motion second, any further discussion? If not, we'll have a vote.
Bill Buchanan,
Yes.
Brian Adams, yes, Shannon Renfro,
Yes.
Mary Albert,
Yes.
Shannon Pennington,
Yes.
Robert Farmer.
Yes. Okay, next on our agenda is the final subdivision plat for Shallow Cove Phase 2. We're going to bring us up to speed on work session.
Yeah, I have a couple notes from the work session, but I believe they've got all that correct. The only thing I still need is the letter of credit or the bond security, and signatures, but everything else has been correct.
Any commissioners have any questions or concerns? So a motion to approve the attendance on those two items. No more discussion, I'll look for a motion.
I make a motion to approve the final subdivision plat for Shallow Cove Phase 2, contingent upon receiving the bond and final signature.
Okay, have a motion to approve those contingencies, or second motion? Second. Motion second, any further discussion? If not, we'll have a vote.
Brian Adams, yes, Shannon Renfro,
Yes.
Mary Albert,
Yes.
Bill Buchanan.
Yeah.
Yes, Robert Farmer. I just getting slow, I'm getting slow. I'm trying to pay attention. All right, thank you, sir, appreciate you coming by.
Thank you, guys.
Mr. Chairman, if we could, amend the agenda, to do the land use change next, engineer for Firebrook phase 2 is running a little late, so if we could go ahead and dispense with item number 6, and we can, hear him after they get done.
Alright, so you want to skip the process?
Not skip it, just move to the football.
You want to be done with it? Okay. The next one on the agenda is the land use change 2026, 2030, Red Crow Loop. Is it legal comfortable? Please state your name and address for the record.
Absolutely. Corey Isaacs, Isaacs Law Office, 218 West Main Street, Richmond, Kentucky.
Okay. Will you be the witness?
Absolutely.
You want to go ahead and swear in?
Please, please.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Frank Dyer, 285 Stan Reeves Road, Waco, Kentucky.
Okay, please raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, Corey.
Mr. Commissioner, if I may, thank you. These properties are located on a rural corridor. Waco Loop, of course, to the north side there, and on the picture, Urban Road to the south side. They encompass a couple different tracks there, as Mr. Thomas is kind of helping me point them out. They are surrounded by multiple commercial properties. We have, of course, the bank across the street, the gas station across the street, which are adjacent properties as the tracks kind of meander down to Urban Road. We're also connected to adjacent a veterinary clinic. There's the general store. These properties are currently zoned a rural community agricultural. However, what we requested is a general business. When my client initially bought the property, the only improvement was operating as a commercial property. However, once we put up a pole barn, we learned that it was not. Once we were contacted by county planning and zoning, we come to you hat in hand. We didn't know, we messed up. We did start to operate as a commercial property. However, once that was figured out, we cleaned it up, stopped it, and now we're coming to you and asking for permission. The properties, once combined, meet all the setback requirements. I don't think you would want a single family there. That little corner has been, and has, in my understanding, always been somewhat of commercial. There hasn't been individual residential in that little corner. Now, that area can only be used for so much. As the land kind of meanders down, just how it lays, it's somewhat unique. As you go closer to Urban Road, as he's pointing out, it's less desirable. It's just the very nature of the road. However, the comprehensive plan will refer to this as a mixed-use property, which encourages use for commercial purposes. I think everything is met for you to make a finding that the property is not zoned appropriately, as it is zoned within the comprehensive plan as a mixed-use area, and the comprehensive plan does dictate that mixed use encourages those uses that are commercial. At the end of the day, it's kind of one of those that I ask, what else do you want me to do with that deal? We can always refer to rules and plans and what rules dictate what. At the end of the day, I always want to look in front of you and say, well, what else do you want out of it? There's a lot of common sense in what you all dictate and how you rule, and I think this one is common sense says it's going to be commercial. I don't think anybody wants to be across the street from the storage units. It's right next to the veterinary clinic. I took my dog there. It is a large animal veterinary clinic. It is in Waco, and that's kind of what it brings to you. And I'm happy to field questions, as always. If not, my client's already sworn in, I'll ask him to adopt everything that I've given you today.
I just, before we go on, I want to correct a couple of things, because it might affect your proposed findings of fact, and
Correct that.
should this board, make a recommendation to approve. So this property is not actually zoned C7, it's not actually in in the rural corridor anymore, so we updated our zoning map not too long ago and eliminated the community designation, and eliminated the rural corridor designation. So everything now is either in the urban corridor or out of the urban corridor. So I just want to make sure that the planning commission understands that this property is actually located in the urban corridor, and I'll show you where that is just for your all visual reference.
We're going to do it then. So the application actually asks for it to be zoned UC4. That's correct. Isn't it?
That is correct. That's urban corridor general business. So this yellow line right here is the urban corridor. Subject property is down here. So this is actually currently zoned UC7. And the request would be to change it to UC4. So just want to make sure we get that correct on any findings of fact or ordinances or anything.
Mr. Dyer, so this is across from the BP, across 52 from the BP. There's a field there, but doesn't this include some of those places that used to have all the cats? The way I used to, the junkyard with all the cats.
That's actually on, Rose Hill.
That's not this property.
No, sir.
What property is this?
It's these right here. It's this tract, this tract, and then this smaller tract up by the road. There's 3 tracks.
When I was looking at the application, I thought it had pictures of some of those buildings down there. I'm not.
So the address designations are correct.
220, 226, and 230 are correct addresses.
What are the buildings that are on there?
Some of those buildings were torn down.
This is what he's asking, what these.
One of them is no longer there.
Right.
Is it a house or?
Well, it was I'd say initially it was a house, however, it turned into commercial use of that house.
I've been there 25 years, and it was used for a karate teaching or something, and
We're talking right there at the four-way stop.
Yes.
You come down from
There were 3 buildings there at one time. They've been used for everything, mostly commercial, but people live there, some, but.
that little yellow building, not the little thing.
Right.
and that was on this lot right here. And then it's also these 2 slightly larger lots here. And he's built a new building. Is that what the building is on this lot here?
The small corner, what is it, 320
Right
right there?
220.
And then on 230.
Yeah.
That's just
230.
So nothing's been built on 226 yet.
That was on that, what was the red?
Red is commercial.
That was, all this area right there's all.
All downtown Waco.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
It's all the other four-way stop in Waco.
What all is included for community,
That's
general?
This is not community. This is urban corridor.
Oh, I was
That's what I was just clarifying.
Are you?
No, it says UC4, so they're
I didn't
making
You see is urban corridor.
so the community is not.
Not
Yeah,
so.
okay.
Are you combining the whole area for this massive amendment from the loop all the way to 52? Is it all
The entire tracks, which have been identified, are.
some buildings?
So Jim, this track is not part of it, and then there's a couple small tracks right here that are not part of it.
Somebody little stone.
Dan lived along for a while, yeah. He's got these 2 tracks right here that's not part of his zone change, right?
What are they zoned, I guess?
They're zoned agriculture as well, but they've never.
However, the use.
They never approached us about changing, so, as Corey mentioned, the general store, there used to be a bakery, not recently.
Sidewalk?
What?
Yep, now,
That's the A&D.
There's an antique store there, there's a veterinary clinic here, there's a heat and air business here for a while. So basically everything across the street is already, and then the big things over here, he mentioned in People's, Whitaker Bank now, is right here.
What I wonder if the board should consider. So there's gonna be 2 little squares of agriculture over there.
But they've not applied for a zone change, they've not requested, we've never done a 4
was first done, the zoning, they just picked out the commercial buildings, and any houses just left as residential or rural.
These probably, some point, like Frank said, they probably were houses or apartments or residences of some kind, of some type. But then, I think they were only probably, like you mentioned it right, they thought that commercial use was better, but that would have been 25 years ago, because we live here 25, 26 years now, and it would be considered pre-existing non-conforming even back that far.
Yeah, I think ultimately the point is, it's not residential. It's certainly not agricultural.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. You want to go ahead and finish your presentation?
No, I appreciate the clarification.
Fine, get on the record. I just want to make sure we got that out there.
I'd like Jewel to finish if you want to finish.
Oh, no, I was
Okay.
actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just, there's, you always worry about different things, you want to keep the whole thing consistent, and absolutely, that's some sort of business property there. It's what-
And I think the owner of that property that you're speaking of,
That's
realized
the
that's
that's
not
what
one.
it is.
I think actually somebody lives in this tract right here right now, and it's fairly dilapidated trailer, but I feel like somebody will come in at some point. You tried to buy it, haven't you, Frank?
Yes.
Who doesn't?
I don't know that woman down Little owns her corner, I tried to buy it,
And that's where the cats are.
The cat.
Cat, not remember, that's where the cats are.
That's a disaster.
It's been that way for
I don't have.
maybe 30 years.
I was sliding on some buses.
Yeah.
It's a nice.
Okay, but anyway, that's.
Let's get him on the
So
record.
I think my client's been sworn in already, I would ask if you've heard my spill, would you adopt that as your own testimony? Nothing has changed, nothing is incorrect, everything that I've said is accurate to the best of your knowledge and the best of your ability, correct? I think that'll fly for the findings of fact. Ultimately, it always comes down, in this kind of scenario, in my mind, what else do you want me to do with it? Comprehensive plan wants property to be used for its best ability. It's not
Is
residential.
that what you intend to do?
it's just gonna rent the garages, commercial, use.
As a small business of some kind, not anything necessarily specifically intended, just.
No, sir. I have probably 12 or 15 in Waco area scattered around.
We're putting property to use in an area that has.
Everything around there is used as some kind of business, across the street, what the old AFP store there is. Which is storage and antique store now, is that right?
Yes.
And this hasn't been cleaned up. You had significant efforts on tearing down and cleaning up.
Oh, it's all brand new.
And just for the record, any development going forward, should this zone change be approved, would be required to go through the site development plan process, just like any other new development. Yes, there's a building on it, but it's never been through that process, so before you can open any kind of businesses there, you would have to go through that process just like anybody else.
I have a question on the acreage. On the first page, it says 1.2, and then on the 2 pages after, it says 2.3. Is it?
Is that because it's two separate lots?
Correct.
But it's actually 3 separate lots, so.
It's 3 separate lots. The total of it does comply with the regulation for commercial use. You combine them all, we're okay.
It does have access to sewer, right?
Yes.
It would have access, and that's something we would discuss, that's like level plan, whether he,
Doesn't have sewer now, but
it could be added to it, yes. But that's not a requirement for commercial zone anyway like this.
Part of it is, it goes right up at 320, the center lot, right through there, the main, sewer lines right there, it can't be built on right there. That one.
Pump station's right here.
Correct.
Yeah.
All utilities are provided.
Is there any other questions or comments? Work on that.
All good.
Okay, all for a motion?
I make a motion based on the evidence presented, pursuant to KRS chapter 100, and testimonies given today, with the proposed land use change request. I make a motion that we approve it, or you suggest that it's approved, it going from UC 7 to UC 4. And I do that based on the fact, the comprehensive plan does have an urban corridor, and because of all the other zoning around, it is appropriate for it also to be.
Have a motion approved, is there a second to the motion?
I'll second.
Have a motion second, any further discussion? If not, we'll have a vote.
Shannon Recor,
Yes.
Brian Adams.
Yes.
Debbie Cannon,
Yes.
Mary Ivan,
Yes.
Shannon Pennington,
Yes.
Robert Vaughn.
Yes.
Thank y'all.
And
We'll
those,
keep you updated when that goes forward, we'll look forward to it.
Merge back to us, Thomas, when we'll have a hearing. Mr. Clerk.
I don't know that till I get with you
Oh.
on everything.
There's 3 properties before.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
And Mr. Miller, I have the Word document with proposed findings, I'll share with that, thank y'all very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Maybe excuse.
Mr. Williams, do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, that's the way we do it.
Thank you.
Appropriately stoned him for his late hour of arrival. So, yeah, that need to right there. Can you come in?
I didn't want to call him.
Let the record show that we're looking.
You want to use that?
Let the record show that we're looking to find some of the firewood phase 2. We need to be in.
Wow. Oh, he did.
I thought he said.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, you need one. Okay, Bert, we'll mix up the.
Alright, so, still on the bond, I got a digital copy of it, but it's not been signed, they assured me, that they'll get that to me.
Yeah, that's like last week one day.
Yeah, well,
What about them easements going to the detention
yeah,
pond?
and that's on my list.
Oh, okay.
So we talked about that at the work session, Wayne. So we got all these, detention basins and existing ponds and everything, but if he deeds these over to the HOA and they put a fence around it, that doesn't, the road department doesn't have any authority to get in there and work on those, right? So they need to show them. Well, not this private property. It's a private lot, and it's deeded over to the HOA, just like they can come on this person's property, and they can do it. Right? This market is a detention easement, put in the notes. Yeah. It says right now, park maintenance and green space shall be the responsibility of the HOA, and we want that. We also want the road department the authority legally to go in there if they have to. And then, we talked about the entrance light, so you put on here an easement for a lighted sign, we actually have to have a street light there as well. So we need to show that on here. So bond, easements for the detention area, entrance light, and signatures is what's on my list.
Is that all detention areas?
Anything that's part of the stormwater system, yeah.
But we can still vote on it just with.
With those contingencies, yes.
James, any other comments or questions or concerns?
Can I just ask what Indian land is?
It's actually in here.
Well, it is.
It is, and that's why they put that, they locked it off there to keep anybody from disturbing it or anything. I assume that'll be deeded to the HOA too. That's not part of the drainage or addition, anything like that, yeah. It's just keep people out of it and make a little park area out of the park and green space.
So people can't use it though? As green space?
Well, I guess that'd be up to the HOA, yeah.
So they'll be in charge of the maintenance.
Yes.
Did they do that did the developers do that voluntarily?
Yes.
Is there some sort of protection?
So you get it all there. Well, when I say that, on my level, as far as my grades go, they're may do something through the historical society or.
Well, I'm sure we kind of inherited.
We had a meeting there,
I think we talked about it, and he said, well, I'll just block it off and won't have to worry about getting any approvals or anything, we're just gonna use it. So, there was nothing that we did.
Probably the ice water, probably green space was fine, but people are walking on it.
I don't think he's calling that green space, he just identified it as the easy
accessible to the residents.
That's, I think.
Well, again, that'll be up to HOA.
What did Jack do for this, over by the, fairgrounds? There's some mounds over there.
This is it.
Oh, this is it?
Yeah, this is what we met about.
Yeah, I think he's volunteered, yeah, they want to go to historical society.
Is it intended that it's accessible to the public, or?
It's the same sort of deal with police space, you know, because they'll have to keep it maintained and everything. Otherwise, they're up with it. And eyesore.
We have cemetery traditions, but it's not linked in now, but it's not blocked off from the public,
Right.
but the HOA maintains it.
Yeah, and that's what
It's a
that's here.
similar situation.
Yeah, if y'all feel better about, including that in, one of the notes, you got park maintenance and green space, if you want to add park space, or park maintenance, green space, and Indian mound would be the responsibility of the HOA, if you just add that language to it.
I don't even know that. Do they know it's Indian now, or they just assume it's Indian?
I would hear when they started digging, which
Because they kind of archaeological.
We got a lot of questions about it when we were going through the zone change project, so, I think everybody out there knows. And I'm sure, I mean, I'm speculating here, but I feel confident there's regulations that, govern how you have to treat those things.
I'd expect that too, but.
So do we wanna add that note, we don't know whether those say.
Add that to the green space note.
But is there anything down the road that says it has to stay in Indian Mound? They can't decide later they wanna
Put slides on.
put slides in the park and the dog park or something?
Again, that's why I think there's probably, other regulatory bodies that would govern that, not us.
Do they even know it's there?
It's on the plan.
Well, no, we had a meeting, Bob Moody came here, where they had all kinds of drawings and information, that's, I mean, hit the known.
It's owned by a farmer who could level the whole thing off, I guess.
Nobody would ever know. At least they identify it.
So, yeah, if identified as called a green space, you wouldn't have to do anything with it.
I want to
Access
identify it as Indian.
Yeah, if you call it Indian
Yeah.
now, you at least acknowledge that it's something different and.
If they get in their best with it, it's on me, they can't say they didn't know.
So all the road names are Indian anyway.
I think calling it Indian now is about as much as the county has the ability to do.
So we'll just add that to that note.
Okay. Any other questions or concerns? If not, I'll call for a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the final subdivision plat for Firebrook Phase 2, contingent upon changing note 21 to add the, mention of the Indian Mound being responsible for, the HOA being responsible for that. All the, easements being shown to the green space, the proof of the bond, and the entrance light.
And signature.
Did I get all that in signatures? I didn't have that on.
Okay, have a motion approved. Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second.
Have a motion second. Any further discussion? Not, we'll have a vote.
Brian Adams? Yes. Debbie Cannon?
Yes.
Shannon Pennington?
Yes.
Mary Iker?
Yes.
Shannon Redcrow?
Yes.
Robert Farmer?
Yes.
Thank you, Wayne.
Okay, thank you, Glenn.
Thank you for the text.
Bert, anything new coming forward? Commission?
We will be in the new chambers if we have a work session. Be downtown. Parking should be an issue, the door should be unlocked, but we'll be working with the gloves with the new system. They have to, all doors are electronically locked now, and they lock at 4:30. But on nights when there's meetings, they're supposed to stay unlocked. I feel quite confident that something like that won't work. So, call me and I'll come let you. I'll put Lindy down there in the chair. But, no, that's all I got.
There's nothing else in, I'll motion in order to adjourn. Have a motion to adjourn, have a roll call.
Shannon Redcrow?
Yes.
Brian Adams? Yes. Debbie Cannon?
Yes.
Shannon Pennington?
Yes.
Mary Iker?
Yes.
Robert Farmer?
Yes.
Thank you.
Rob was saying so.
Yeah.